Hello, I'm Mary V. Today, let's talk about breaking down and analysing a tricky passage. There are many tricky passages. Let me choose one tricky passage from one of the Bach Partitas. This bit takes a lot of careful thought for me because there's string crossings and also jumping all the way from the G string to the E string, etc. So you're jumping more than one string at a time. I find that quite tricky because you have to hide any bumps and inner mechanical sounds. But there are ways to do it, so let me show you. Now, I know that was far from perfect, so let me show you where the difficulties for me lie, and you can see how I break it down and try to improve it. The bit that I'm thinking about is when it goes So how do we break that down? First of all, the best thing to do is to play it without any slurs. Just play it separately and see how your shifting is doing and whether that is slowing you down, and that is the problem. So we can do it just separate bows like this. So a little bit faster. All right, so a little bit messy, but I don't think it's the shifting that's the problem. So let's go back to playing two notes to a bow and have a look at that. Just do it quite slowly. Okay, a little bit faster. Okay, now the question is whether you put the bow across when you're jumping a string and leave the bow on and just do it very silently, or take the bow off. So whichever is comfortable for you. For example, if you just put the bow across silently, there's a bit of a risk of sort of sounds like this coming in. It's very, very difficult to control that when you're playing up to speed. It might be better to slightly lift the last note of the bottom semiquavers or quavers. But then there's the danger that that last note at the bottom might become too short, like this. So in Bach, you can take your time with things. So is there any room there to just let the last note be as long as it wants to be and give yourself time to make that jump over without it interrupting things or being too long? Let's try that. That's how long. I need if I want to make it comfortable. Let's try speeding up that without shortening the bottom note. Well, I think musically only one of them can be elongated, but not both. So I try to be in tempo on the first one, and then I can take my time on the second one. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's try it again. Well, I think musically that might work, but there's another bowing that's just occurred to me. And how about doing it like this? So you're doing an up bow, and then you're more sort of ready to come on to the next note. So try that. So all of this is under speed. So let's try it up a little bit faster from the beginning. So I think it is a very good idea to break it down and then play it, and let's see what happens. So during that, I felt that I didn't give the second low note enough time. I could give it a little bit more time and make it a bit more comfortable. I think one of the secrets of that sound is the dog, by the way. But I think one of the secrets to playing a tricky passage is to make it more and more comfortable. And one way to do that is to play it slightly faster than it is, and then slightly slower than the speed you intend to do. And by playing it faster, you have to fit in everything that you want to do. And then by playing it slower, you're breaking it down and analysing it. But by playing it faster, quite a lot, equally, back and forwards, by the time you play it at the right speed, it all feels a lot more comfortable. So don't just play it at speed and then slower, at speed and then slower. Try to play it faster, at speed and slower, because with a tricky passage, what you're really trying to do is make it comfortable and try to find a way for everything to fit in, right? To make it easy. So that's your job, to sort of work it out, how to hide the mechanical sounds and let the music and the sounds, the musical sounds come out, the ones that you want the audience to hear. I mean, every violinist makes mechanical sounds of the bow being on the string or changing string, whatever, and we choose to hide quite a lot of the workings of what we're doing, or to make them sound nice, the mechanical sounds, incorporate them and make them sound nice. So let's get back to the passage and let's see if we can develop it a little bit more. We'll do it slowly again. So I want to make that A. I want to make sure that there's plenty of vibrato on that. I don't want to curtail that note, but I've got to get off it. I've got to make that sound nice, so. I can get over there quite easily. think it's very important to absolutely isolate where your problem is and just break it down, try it in different ways, and make it more and more comfortable, make it more and more easy for yourself. And don't keep going back to the normal speed too soon. A lot of slow practice is needed. One thing about slow practice is that it's easier to play the piece slowly, okay? But when you're doing slow practice, try and use exactly the same part of bow and the same amount of bow as when you're playing it up to speed, because there's simply no point in practicing like okay, you see the point. I'm going to use about this amount of bow. Let me just show you. So when I do it slowly, I'm going to try and be in the same part of the bow and use the same amount of bow. Like that. And the reason is because I want to keep hold of the type of sound that I want to make when it's up to speed. And I'm really practicing the bowing automatically when I keep to the same parameters. I keep the same attack, I keep the same sound that I'm wanting to get when I play it faster. So mechanically, my right hand is actually doing all the same things. I don't really have to worry about that because I've been practicing something different. If the piece is very tricky, one thing to do that's very useful in Bach is to play it upside down. Start with an up bow and turn all your bowing upside down, because that sort of shakes all these habitual things out of the window, and it really, really helps. Right, so that brought out some weaknesses, you know, in my fourth finger there, where I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about the bowing, and it sort of showed up some weaknesses. So that shows me that I need to be careful with that particular fourth finger and take care. So let's just go back to the passage and let's see if the musical impulse can be set in and improved by what I'm doing. Well, it's still not perfect, but I'll keep breaking it down, and I think one of the best things is what I said about speed. Play it slightly faster, play it slightly slower, play it slightly faster and slower, and eventually you will find that playing it at the speed, your desired speed, it will feel a lot more doable and comfortable. So I hope this has helped you, and bye for now.